I really want to plan with a pair of dice, but if Flick's in town... Bugs. It's Gulliver! Spoiler warning for the end of the letter. Please accept this gives a big old thank you for saving me. You probably had more peaceful voyage to your island than I did. I'm jealous. And from Weber. So Steven, were you wearing your clothes backwards the other day? Or were you walking backwards? Either way, it was real neat, man. Real neat. Neither? Weber, you doing okay there, buddy? You need help? Stonehenge. I think I've already got Stonehenge, don't I? Or am I thinking of something else? No, I'm thinking of something else. Well, Stonehenge. There we go. What we got here? Dearest reader, would you believe an amazing DIY recipe simply popped into my mind as I was enjoying a cup of tea? I cannot keep this idea to myself, so I have placed it in this bottle. It would please me if you made it. With hopes, Diana. Golden seat. Neat. Caroline's enjoying her yard. Oh, she's cleaning her yard. Talk, don't bop. Nice running into you, Squeak. One chat. But midway through, yo, change the flow. Such a great book. Yeah, I think I'm definitely just gonna catch bugs today. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, I want to do more Paradise planning. We've got plenty of time to do more Paradise planning. Like, the year ain't even half over yet. Like, we got so much time. It's unreal. Hey, it's Steven. Let's chat. Best part about taking a nap in a tree is how the tree puts you on the ground just before you wake up. It doesn't put you there, but I'll let you believe, my man. I will let you believe that. Yeah, I still don't have much to ramble about. I do really want to get Paradise planning done so I can get Diva into a proper house. Welcome anytime. Chat with me. Nice simple parka. Looking revved up and ready for anything. That style would go red with a jester's cap. So I'm a clown. Is that what you're saying? You're saying I'm a clown? No takebacks. Not taking no for an answer and no refunds. I guess I'm a clown now. She's calling me a clown. Fine, I'll be a clown. I have nothing as clowns. Bug. I'm gonna wait to catch bugs until after I do the daily routine stuff, just so I can have a clear inventory. Unless I see like a really valuable like butterfly or something. Then I'll definitely stop and catch it. But I don't even know if those are around at this exact moment. I will say, though, one thing I can kind of talk about is I saw my first bumblebee of the year today. So, that was nice. Shadow was trying to catch it, and had to shoo him away from the spicy fly. But, you know. It's not a good idea for doggos to eat bees. It's not a good idea for people to do it either. Really, for anything to eat bees. Bees are too important for that. So, like, I've gone on this little ramble before, but I need to make mention of this again. Like, this time of year, do not clean your yard. Like, leave your yard messy, leaf-filled, you know. Let the bumblebees exist. Let them come out of their hibernation. Naturally. They are hibernating in the, you know, debris in your yard. Leave them there. Because, like, we've got humanity as a whole. Us adorable creatures. We've gotten pretty good at helping honeybees. But there are so many more types of bee that we just simply are not helping because they're not honeybees, basically. And they're all important. Like, bumblebees are just as important as honeybees. But we don't really put anywhere near the effort into protecting them as we do honeybees. because we get something back out of, okay, let's flick. I saw those spikes on the bug net. I was checking out that tree. Naomi! There you are, Moolah. And looking fabulous as ever, I see. Let's chat. Ah, sunset on Astera. It's as if this little island has put on a tiara. Aw, that's a cute mental image. Hey! Here's cilantro. Hey, Rambler. You're a sight for these sore eyes. It's the latest. Wonder how much walking I've done in this island so far. Must be close to setting a record. Nah, that's probably me, honestly. With how much walking I've done around this island, I definitely hold the record. Pretty sure this is a pretty valuable butterfly. Yeah, like... it's just one of those things of, like... it's great what we've done to help the honeybee. It is. Don't get me wrong. We need to keep doing it. But we also could really do with helping out other bug species just as much. Like... it would be great. I suppose I could also ramble about what I've been up to in EVE Online, but, like... doubt many of you particularly care. It's kind of a niche game. Though, actually, I can kind of... There is something I can ramble about in regards to it. I feel like anyone can relate to how frustrating it is. Hey, sorry about the mess, but I ain't got time to clean today. What you doing? Making me an orange umbrella. One of the bugs on my floor whispered the DIY instructions in my ear while I was sleeping last night. So I gotta build it before I forget what it even is. Check it out. Plans for an orange umbrella. Can teach you if you want. Yeah, sure, teach me. Leave it to me. Got it all scribbled down right here. Let's just read this. I will. Bam. If I can make it, then I bet you could do it in no time. Zoop. So, okay. EVE Online, as a whole, is a big MMO. It's a big sandbox that the developers basically advertise as one where player choices and actions dictate everything. So, like, you know, if you manage to become the leader of a big alliance, you could claim parts of space. You might even, you know, field enough ships to set a new world record for number of players involved in a fight. You know, you might get to evict some people out of their previous home systems. You know, that sort of thing. You are actively changing the course of the game for the players you're interacting with. And the developers have always taken a very hands-off approach to this. Like, they release balance changes and content additions, but for the most part, they don't really do much to actively, I don't know if I like the, how narrow the legs get on those. They don't tend to do anything to, like, actively impact things. Be a punk. So, when they do things that actively impacts it, it tends to be very negatively received. Sort of silly since I'm inside the shop all day, but sunny weather, it helps me work faster. Maybe it's just making shorter sleeves. Nah, you just work faster. You're only selling long sleeves today. So, I'll give an example. They basically, I forget the name of the update, but one update, pre-2020, basically added a inactivity amount to structures. Like, they basically made it so structures could be classified as inactive, even if they were actively being used, because they just didn't have some special doodad that was required to, you know, flag them as an active structure. An inactive structure / abandoned structure was basically free game for anybody to shoot. like, it was kind of BS, because a lot of bigger small groups. Bit of a contradiction there, but you get the idea. Welcome, Steven. Make yourself comfy, Snorty. Let's chat. I've been meaning to ask you about all the fossils that you've dug up yesterday. You had them assessed yet? So great if it turned out you found something rare. It would be great, because I mean a lot of bells. But, like, I've already donated everything, so... Our fossils are complete. Like, a lot of, like, bigger small groups were basically placing citadels around the place, being nice. Like, they were giving... Like, there was one group I remember, I don't remember their name, but I remember them doing this. They basically went around to every system that did not have an NPC station in it, and placed a citadel so that players could live out of that system should they choose to. This was at pretty decent cost to themselves. Hey, Steven, let's talk. Just make it up as I go along. Yeah, nah, I don't think so, my man. Like, and that basically ruined them. They lost billions upon billions of Iskin structures, and it sucked. Especially where this update more or less came out of nowhere, and was more or less an example of CCP having not thought through the Citadel changes before making them. Because it is very true that a unmaintained POS becomes vulnerable to a degree. You still have to declare war on the corporation that owns that POS to be able to shoot at that POS. But POSs are also a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper. So, you know, you would think with that level of protection for POSs that Citadels, given they are greatly more expensive, would have been more protected. But no. But that's not the change I'm even, referring to. The one that everyone could probably relate to as being a real that sucks moment, and it just feels bad for the game in general. No way! I was totally just thinking, I wish I could talk to Steven right now. Lay it on me! My floating biotrip planter, perfect for practicing having fans. You talk to plants and say, oh, thanks for being a fan. I can even blow kisses to them and practice getting my targeting just right. Plants are the best. That is very fair. So, around 2020, they started the Trigvalian invasion. Which I think they started it in like 2018-ish. It was going on for a while. And I've talked about this before because I honestly stand it was the most detrimental thing to the health of that game that CCP has ever done. They basically allowed this NPC faction to randomly invade high security and low security systems. Nullsec was safe from this. And the whole point of it was this NPC faction, if they won, would basically take over that system. And initially, that just meant that the major empire that held it no longer held it. And, it basically became null security space, but NPC null. So you could still access the warp gates and travel through the systems should you choose to do so. The Trigvalians would be on every gate, and it would be very dangerous, but you could do it. Players would also be on every gate, especially Trigvalian allies would just be on every gate, watching for people to try to come through and then kill them. It was not great, but at least you could still access the systems. Then in 2020, they basically sent out a thing in a dev blog saying, yeah, any players who are living in these systems who do not wish to be completely cut off from the rest of the universe, evacuate, leave that system. Keep in mind, these systems are already dangerous. If you had assets in them already, you were already probably trying to, racking your brain on how am I going to get these out? And here's CCP going, yeah, evacuate or you're about to lose everything. Because those systems, their gates were shut off. You could no longer enter or leave them through gates. You have to get into them via wormholes. Now this causes some problems. Because people lived in these systems. If my main home system were to have fallen into one of those systems that were effectively being removed, there is no way I could have gotten everything out. Even if, even as the Trig invasion was starting, there's no way I could have gotten everything out. Because I simply own too much stuff. Like, in my primary home station, which is in Caldari space, and is an equal distance between two of the major trade hubs. It's a pretty nice little system. It's where I tried to base my corporation out of, because it is a very, central system. Well, got it. Darn bug. I have something like 4 to 8 billion ISK worth of assets just sitting there, not doing anything with them. And that amount of assets equals out to 5 to 6 freighter trips to move everything out of that system. Freighters are unarmed. They are defenseless. You kind of need to escort a freighter through dangerous space. And that's just me, and I don't even keep all of my stuff in one station. A lot of people do. So if I kept my entire, I think my character's net worth is something like 54 billion ISK. If I kept all of those assets in one station, and that station was in a system being captured by the Trigs, I'm just gonna quit the game. I'm done. I give up. That is too much to lose. That's starting over from zero, basically. And, I have some assets that are stuck in Trig space, and there's nothing I can really do to get them out. They're just gone. Now, I don't care about these assets, but other people did. Which is where I am firmly in the camp of, it was so stupid of how they did things. Because, imagine that for a moment. Let's put this into real-life terminology here. Let's imagine that your city, where you're currently living, suddenly gets invaded by some mysterious alien race. And some people in your city are actively helping the aliens. Some people are fighting against them, but not as many. Your local government is attempting to help fight the aliens off, but are ultimately ineffective. And those aliens end up basically capturing your home city. You then get word from your countrywide government that they are basically going to, in some way, literally destroy all entrance in and out of your city. Well, you're still there. You haven't left because you don't have to leave, these aliens aren't destroying your homes, they're just holding control of the place. They basically just say, yeah, we're just gonna, like, blow up all the entrances. You literally will not be able to get in and out. You've got a week, get out. Could you, in a week... And keep in mind, like, these aliens aren't destroying your house, but if you leave your house and get in your car, if they don't like you, they're gonna try and blow that car up. Are you gonna be able to get out in a week? Pack up your entire house into a car, and you need to use a fast car, because otherwise you're not getting out. Like, you gotta use a small, tiny sports car that can absolutely zoom, or you're probably not gonna get out. So you can only take a few things at a time. Some things are too big for you to take. Like, that's effectively what CCP did to people. Rather than just finding another better solution to what they wanted to do, which was to add the Trigvalians, give them space, organize their systems into a big triangle. Yes, really. Like, the entire it basically just looks like someone at CCP saw a triangle and went, spaceship. And that's just what they more or less went with. Like, and like, it's just stupid. I honestly do think that is the absolute dumbest thing that CCP has ever done in regards to EVE Online. They've made some pretty boneheaded decisions over the years that actively hurt the player sandbox. That was one of the worst, because the players had the illusion of choice. Even if Edencom, the forces of Edencom, had been effective in fighting off the Trigs at every turn, the invasion would just still be happening. Because it is clear that CCP basically had the mindset of, no, we want this to happen, we don't care what the players think. They probably would have just simply started cheating on behalf of the Trigs so they could get what they wanted out of it. Which was this group of systems for the Trigvalians to have as their home space. The sad thing is, like, with how all that content began, players were hopeful. PvE players, but players were hopeful. Because it more or less started with abyssal filaments and mysterious structures appearing, which added more PvE content, which ultimately fueled making new PvP ships, because that's all the Trigvalian player ships are good for, is PvP. They're not really good for much PvE. There's one assault frigate that's good for PvE, and that is it. So, like, you know, it was good for everybody, but it was mostly good for PvE players, because it gave PvE players something new to do. And something new to do that was not only new, but challenging. Like, abyssal fragments are basically little things you can activate to get little 20-minute long, well, 20-minute max duration solo dungeons that can be up to 3 players to play through. And they can be quite difficult. If you're not flying a stupidly expensive ship, you're gonna struggle. You may very well lose your ship. And if you lose your ship, your pod goes with it. So any implants you have are also gone. Anytime I do anything in abyssal space, I'm risking my ship plus about 200 million ISK worth of implants. Like, that was cool. People liked it. I loved throwing myself into abyssal fragments the first couple days. Like, first weeks, actually. Like, I was figuring it out as I went. I'm still figuring it out as I go, not using guides, because that's how I like to approach Eve for the most part. I'll use a mission guide at this point, but I've more or less figured out everything aside from the order of a mission and like the NPCs involved. And even a lot of those, I know them before going into them. You know, I figured out how to make PvE fits on my own. I learned how to get through PvE content on my own. You know, I went through the probably same learning curve most players do when it comes to missions, which is I initially started by changing resistances based on the mission because, well, when you know what you're going to be fighting, you know what to tank against, but not every mission has the same resistances that come from the same enemies, you know, that you need to be tanking against the same enemies, so that's not always strictly the case, and, you know. So some missions you would learn pretty quickly that, oh no, you actually need, like, something completely different going on. I've now moved on to a generalized fit with that idea in mind. And usually, you know, my fits are tanked well enough to do whatever they need to do. But then the Trig invasions start. And initially, people found it a bit funny that these NPCs were invading systems and, you know, disrupting people. And it was initially funny listening to people living out of some systems complaining. It was also kind of funny listening to people complain about Najara. Najara was the most important system along the Amar trade route. It was how you got to the rest of New Eden without taking the long way around, which added like 20-some jumps to your trip. It was kind of funny initially when that system fell. And then murmurings of, CCP is going to shut off the gates, started. Then we also had at that point learned that once the Trigs fully capture a system, Edencom gives up on it. You can no longer fight to get it back. Which felt very wrong for the sandbox that is EVE Online. Nothing in EVE is permanent. Well, the one thing in EVE that was permanent that has now been proven to not be permanent was high security space. Even that has now proven to not be permanent. So, you know, it's very frustrating. Hey, Flick. Yeah, I remember you. Guy who loves bugs and all their skittery chittery, sometimes glittery glory. Man, I need to draw more. Talking to Flick just kind of hit me with that. Like, I really do need to draw more. Okay. I don't know how much the Emperor butterflies are worth. 15,000 bells. 20,000. Okay, so I was 5,000. I'm so bad. I've been right like once. Well, I do see another butterfly right over here. Might be too high, but no. Okay. And like, I don't think I would have minded the Trig invasions if they had basically followed the same idea as Sancha's invasions. Because Sancha Kuvakai, the leader of the Sancha's nation, I thought I had a diving beetle. Okay, I guess I need to give that to Blathers. Hey Blathers, got you a prezi. need to be really careful here. I don't want to hit Weber. Can you get away from Weber? Do not wish to hit him. Like, Sanjay Kuvakai directs his forces to invade various constellations every so often, and it's more or less random where his forces will appear next. The Sanchas are slavers, so they're more or less showing up to kidnap a bunch of people to then sell into slavery. But, you know, you show up, you defeat the Sancha invasion, and everything goes back to business as usual. We were kind of thinking these Trig invasions would more or less do the same thing. The Trigs would invade a system, we would show up, see them off, and then everything would go back to business as usual. And, you know, if we just left them alone long enough, they'd eventually do whatever they were doing, and they would leave on their own. Because that's how the Sancha's invasion works, too. Like, incursions just kind of end after a while. They don't stick around. The Trig invasion sticks around. We did not know this at the time. The Trig invasions have also stopped. Which more or less is just a case of like, alright, well, what now? Well, now we're fighting them in wormhole space. It's like, okay, but why wasn't that just what happened initially? Like, weird wormholes open up, we fight them in the wormholes. Those wormholes eventually become their systems. That makes more sense to me. Create whole new systems. What do I know? Heck, create a whole new section of claimable nullsec. Might there be something which I can assist you? Yeah, I got a donation. Marvelous! What would you like to donate? Got a prezi. Here you go. It's like a fish. Eek! A diving beetle! What a wretched thing. Alas, I'm obliged to ask. Would you like to learn more about this specimen? Yeah, please tell me. Ah, I see. In that case, the dastardly diving beetle, famous for its distinctive round shape and its ferocious appetite. This powerful predator uses its thick-backed legs covered in hairs to paddle after its prey, and it uses suction cups on its front legs to grip its quarry for good. My own legs are gone weak just thinking about it. Anywho, my sincerest thanks for your donation. And though bugs are the bane of my existence, rest assured this wretched thing will get the best care here. Might I help you with anything else? Nah, I'm good. Jolly good. Please enjoy the rest of your visit. I still love how Blathers talks. Like, they clearly intend him to be British, but I think they got the wrong Isle. He's definitely Irish. Like, I know I'm just completely dropping the Eve topic, but I might get back to rambling about that. But I've kind of said my piece there. Like, I know I've said this before, but, like, that voice for Blathers just kind of happened. I wasn't trying for that. I had been trying to give him a bit of a British accent, and it was never coming out. Like, it just wasn't happening. And then the Irish accent just kind of came out of nowhere, lightning fast. And kicked me right in my cowboy ass. Though it was not the bloodiest battle the world ever saw, with civilians looking on in total awe. The fight did not rage on for a century. Many lives were not claimed. Though eventually, the champion still stood. The rest saw their better. Mr. Rogers, in a blood-stained sweater. It's the ultimate showdown. Of ultimate destiny. Yeah, I'm just rambling now. I'm a little tired. Could you tell? I slept so long today, but at the same time, it was not a restful sleep. I've actually had some pretty kind of nasty nightmares lately. That have, like, there's two I can distinctly remember, and both of which were also followed by visits from my sleep paralysis visitor, which I've decided to name Echo. It just kind of fits. Just feels right. Like, the first one, she was just kind of standing with, like, one of her hands just over where her mouth would be. Because I've never seen a mouth on her, like, at all. Her eyes have always been very distinctive, though. Still very unblinking. And the other one was last night / this morning. And I woke up and she was kneeling next to my bed. So, yeah. Which I know there's so many people who would probably be absolutely freaked out by that. But, like, it's weirdly comforting to me to have Echo showing up. And, like, like I've said many a time, like, she's never done anything scary or spooky or even aggressive seeming. She's just kind of existed. So, you know, I'm not worried about her being there at all. It's just kind of exists. And I'm okay with that. But yeah, I think I'm actually just about done for today. I need to record some Tulip, but I've got until Monday now. I recorded one episode. That one episode took over an hour to record. So, tomorrow's good. I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's good. Tomorrow's episode is up. But, like, it's scheduled. But, yeah. Let's come sell some bugs to Flick. I might actually, like, just play around in this a little in my own time and sell more bugs to Flick. I don't know. Am I truly listening to the needs of the violin beetle with every ear I possess? Oh, hi. Have you caught any bugs yet? Yeah, I mean, I got some bugs. Okay, so these are all pretty low value bugs. Except maybe the pond skater, but I'm pretty sure that's also pretty low value. 5,000 bells. No, 6,000. I should have stuck with 5,000. I was so close to being right. I'm not gonna take it. I would have taken it if I was right on 5,000. But I was not. So I apologize, a little gassy. I did just eat before I recorded, so. Honestly, a bit surprised I haven't been more gassy, given I had mini pizzas. Which I need to ask near the end here. I don't need that. I don't need to ask. I just want to ask. So, mini pizzas, or pizza pockets. Microwave or oven? Or air fryer? Or frying pan? Like, how do you cook them? I wish to know. Let's leave myself 10,000. Or 9,000. Yeah, 10,000. Let's leave myself 9,000. Also, apparently I'm remembering the amount the robot hero needs wrong. So I think I'm gonna get it, and I'm still gonna set that as like one of the primary goals of this series, is to make the robot hero. Let's give myself a robot hero DIY recipe. Now generating a robot hero. Yeah, let's actually see. It's not that menu. It's Nook Shopping. What is seasonal right now? Carnations and a thank you mom mug. Oh, Mother's Day is coming up. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I never know when Mother's Day is. It just kind of shows up. Which, I mean, I know even less of when Father's Day is going to show up. So, I mean, you know. But yeah, like, I need to know. And for anyone who might be curious, most of the time, I microwave mine. Be it mini pizza or Pizza Pocket. Just because it's faster. Like, yeah, it makes it soft. Yeah, it gets a bit wet on the bottom. But it's so much faster. So, I'm going to end things off here. Sitting in Diva's garden. I thank you all very much for watching. And hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow, where I will definitely be doing some paradise planning. See you all then. And now in this end card, I would like to ask, if you liked the video, could you maybe hit the like button? If you're not subscribed, could you maybe subscribe? It helped me out a lot. Thanks a bunch.